Hi, and welcome to Energy to Angels. I'm Mary Beth Murphy, and today we are working on the Archangels. We're actually working on two Archangels today, Archangel Raguel and Archangel Jeremiel. I put the two Archangels together because they actually do work very well together. Archangel Jeremiel is more focused on looking at our past, our life review, if you want to call it that. And past doesn't necessarily mean, it can mean past lives, but it also means looking at your past, when you grew up, childhood experiences, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with siblings, your relationship with teachers and your peers around you. We all learn through experiences, and sometimes as a child during our formative years, all these different things happen to us and we can't really process it. So we might actually hang on to trauma and not even realize we're hanging on to trauma. So if you feel like there's something from your past that you need to look at, or there's something from your past that you need to heal, Archangel Jeremiel will help you with that. He also works with people who have crossed over. We spoke about the Archangel of Death, but also Archangel Jeremiel will help you when you cross over to the other side, into the light, to look at your life and see what you needed to review. But you can do that process now. So if you feel like there's something not quite right in your life, or there's something a little bit off, just remember that he is there to help you heal that situation, but he will ask you to go back and look at it. A lot of people don't want to look at their past. They're like, well, that happened in the past and I've let it go and I'm done with it. And that's a good philosophy to have, but also is that sometimes we have to look at it to understand it so that we can heal from it, so that we can move forward. Because lots of times I see people and they're carrying around like, I don't know, 25 or 50 pounds of emotional luggage. Imagine taking 50 pounds and dragging it behind you. It's a little heavy. So why not look at it and learn from it? And sometimes when people get afraid to go into that, to look at their past, because we've all had trauma of some sort. It's what has happened in our lives usually. A lot of people say, well, my family was very dysfunctional, and everybody has come from dysfunction on some level. Granted, some people's levels of dysfunction are much higher than others. But it behooves you to release yourself from it, to look at whatever needs to be looked at and let it go. And sometimes things fall apart to fall together again. But remember, the worst is behind you. But if things fall apart, they will fall back in together. They will fall back together again. Everything is in balance, which brings me to Archangel Raguel. Archangel Raguel is in charge of divine order. Everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but it's the truth. Everything happens for a reason. And it's important to remember that everything does happen for a reason. Everything is the way it should be in this universe. Sometimes, especially when we have to look at things in the past, we might be attracting those people right now in our current lives. Like your boss might be your dad. That happened to me. Where one day I looked at my boss and go, he's very much similar like my dad. And there were some issues that I needed to heal with my father. And that was the beauty of the situation, is that this situation was called forth for me to look at my boss at the time and realize that there were some similar issues that I was still playing out that were very close to the way I used to deal with my father, and it needed to be healed. It was hard to deal with. I'm not saying it wasn't, but the good part about it is that as you move through the process and you work through the process, healing is a release, is true freedom. And when I looked at that, healed it, and moved forward, that problem never found me again. Those set of circumstances that rose up around my dad never found me again in my lifetime, because lessons will be repeated till learned, and that's why everything is in divine order. If we don't get the lesson at one point, the universe is kind enough to give us a lesson again. And some people might have a problem with that. But the point is, we've come here to learn and grow. And these lessons will find us through our lifetime. So we can look at it now, or we can look at it later. But either way, you will look at it. And I always say, if it's in front of you, why not deal with it now? And that's where these two archangels can help you. They will help you look at the fact that the worst is behind us. That is Archangel Jeremiel's situation. The worst is behind you. But look at what the worst was so that you can heal and move forward. And if things fall apart, they will fall back together again. Archangel Raguel will help you understand that everything has a purpose. that these relationships in your life, they have balance, they have harmony. Everything is in divine order. You can sometimes see him holding scales, that if one is tipped, the other one will come back up. Everything has to be in balance. And also encouraging to look at your feelings, because our feelings tell us how we are vibrating, what is going on in our lives. If a person looks at us or says something that doesn't feel right, it'll set up some type of a feeling inside of us. Well, then where is that feeling coming from? Why are you having that feeling? Why does that person, why what that person said to you felt so wrong? Where is that coming from? See, so these are the things that sometimes help you to look backwards, to look so that you can heal what's going on in your life right now, so you can move forwards. And the point is to move forward in freedom. And freedom is the purpose. That freedom is the end result of all the healing that you will do by looking at your past. And sometimes it doesn't have to be intense. Some people choose the aid of a therapist, which is fine, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. What you can do is start a journaling process. If you know that there's something not quite right, you can just write about it and call in the energy of these two archangels, Archangel Jeremiel and Archangel Raguel. Also, the other thing is work with your guardian angels at this point as well, too. I want you, when you're working with the archangels and you're working on a specific situation that might be very, very difficult, call in your guardian angels, because they can work with the archangels and give you all that beautiful divine energy to help you heal and move forward a little bit faster. The point is to get through it, not stay in it. And if you're angry, remember, anger is a good emotion. Sometimes we're told through society, don't be angry. Don't live in anger. That's probably the better way of saying it. Don't live in anger. But it is okay to feel anger. Anger is a necessary emotion, and underneath anger is always pain. So if we can look at why we're angry and go to the pain of why we are angry, we can then work on that emotional issue and heal. So, I hope understanding these two archangels has helped you. And I please want to always remind you that the angels haven't brought you this far to let go of you now. Thank you so much and have a great day.